everyone. Thanks for coming over. To be honest, I needed some company too. Been alone for a little too long. Oh, hey, I brought you a glass of water. If you like. You need to be hydrated. Because we are going to make an absolute rake head out of you today. It's just there if you need it. Takes the bracelet. Slowly get it over my fat wrist. Yeah, awesome. You look great. Oh yeah, don't worry. I don't give a shit what they think. They're all idiots anyway. I know the truth. You're a treasure. A diamond. Savior of the planet. Well, I thought that Reiki might help us both to relax a little bit, but also to help us reconnect, and maybe to shake off some of that excess energy from last year. What do you think? I'm going for kind of an 80s thing. I know. It looks kind of weird, but I kind of like it. It looks like an undercut without having to have my hair cut. Because I'm worried I'll lose it if I cut it. Anyway, I'm talking crap. Let's light a candle. This candle was given to me by a friend. It's from America. North America. It's beeswax candle. It smells really good. You haven't even lit it yet. You've got the inaugural light. There we go. Yeah, smell. Your friend got that for me. Friend also got me crystal. We will talk about crystals in a little bit, but I thought it was cute. Before we get started, let's do some breathing exercises. Breathing, right? Well, sometimes you know how you forget to walk and all of a sudden you find yourself sort of like walking by stick, like manually. It's kind of like that. We take breathing for granted, and so when we remind ourselves that it's something that we're completely in control of, it can take us a little bit by surprise. Like, I'm always like, whoa, hold on a second, I can control that. And when you realize that you can control something that maybe you thought you didn't have control over, it makes life that little bit easier, don't you think? I'm going to do something real quick. Just playing a little one on you. Sorry. It's just good to see you. It's been a while. It's been a long time and everyone's been through so much. It's good to sit down with friends, remind us that there's not just light at the end of the tunnel, but happiness too. Alright, breathing. Alright, so clear your mind as much as you can. Look at me. And breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Alright. I'm going to do the little wavy hand thing. Just check your aura. See what we're playing with. Just sift through it. See what we're dealing with. Pardon my fingers. Had a lot of hangnails recently, and big surprise, haven't been able to go get any work done. But it's for the greater good, to help some of those people most vulnerable. Don't forget that every little sacrifice you're making helps somebody else. Oh yeah, right. Stone. Cute, right? This one's for you. Like I said, a gift, but I think it's alright to re-gift a gift with good intent. So hold on to this one. I was going to say that a lot of people talk about crystals and stones having like different meanings and being good for different things, which they are, obviously. You know, clear quartz is your good all-rounder, and you got like rose quartz for feelings if you put it on your bed or whatever. But also, like, the stone can be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't really matter what it looks like, you know? It's what you put into it that counts, and what's inside it, you know? So, for example, a lot of people judge a book by its cover. But what if that cover changed on a day-to-day basis, you know? The content of the book doesn't change. And what if the cover stayed the same, but the content changed? Well, I'm sorry, I've been thinking a lot about identity and what it means to different people. And it's really difficult to talk about because you don't want to offend anyone, and you don't want to alienate anyone either. But sometimes by not talking about who you are, you're in danger of isolating yourself. You understand? For example, a lot of people ask me, well, how are you, Lars? And my knee-jerk is to say, fine, whatever. But what they really should be asking is, who are you, Lars? For too long, and I know it's the same for you, but I thought that the world's definition of who I was my identity. I didn't realize that I define my own identity. I don't have to wait for someone to classify me or, you know, fit me into their nice little neat box. Now don't get me wrong, it's difficult, especially when you feel like, you don't know who you are or who you're going to be. Like a lot of times, like in darker moments, I used to talk to myself and say to myself, give myself a hard time. Funny phrase, giving yourself a hard time. I didn't really understand what that phrase meant, but I would always say to myself, Lars, pick a side. Decide. Decide who you are. Stop sitting on the gender fence. And that made me wonder who I was, Made me wonder if I was my authentic self, or I was just playing different characters. I thought, what is my voice? And who will listen to it? That's when I realised that the voice that was giving myself a hard time was me. That I wasn't defined by this, that, other thing. I wasn't defined within a binary trope, a binary idea of myself. I was defined by that voice, which was me, my authentic self. And it didn't matter how I presented. It didn't matter if I looked like a boy or I looked like a girl. All that mattered was that I was me. And I was not giving myself a fucking hard time about it all the time. Sometimes we wait to be labelled by others, but we don't need that kind of recognition. The world does not define who you are. You define yourself, and to a greater extent, the world. Now, you might completely disagree with me, and that's okay, because the beauty of being non-binary is that there aren't two sides in the traditional sense. There's not one opposing force versus another. It transcends that. There are infinite voices, unwilling to be defined, unwilling to be caged into two ideas set down by someone who doesn't even understand. So if you disagree with my view of what it means to be who I am, I'm not going to argue with you, as long as you're not out there killing babies or whatever. As long as you don't hurt me. But it does feel lonely. I understand that. And confusing. But it's only confusing because when you try to understand yourself, what you're doing is trying to understand yourself through the framework presented by somebody else. And you'll never understand yourself when you're looking through somebody else's eyes. You need to look within to understand who you are. Get to know yourself. Throw away the judgments, the prejudices and the bigotry of the world, and enjoy you for you. And when you start doing that, you don't even have to define yourself anymore. You find that you can continue being happy just being you. Of course, this is advice that I will quite happily impart and never follow. Because why would I listen to myself even when I think I'm making sense. But that's the trick, right? That's the trick. And you know I'm always here for you. I will always be here for you. To support you. To love you. To be with you. But more importantly, and I think sometimes more important than anything else, I will be here to recognize you, to see you for who you are, and to admire that person. Don't be whatever you want to be. Be you. Be freaking proud of it. So maybe you're not non-binary. Maybe you're binary. Maybe you think I'm dumb. Maybe you think that I'm a middle-aged man dressed like a woman. And that's okay, if that's what you think. But don't fucking say it to me. Don't tell me something deliberately to hurt my feelings. Who does that serve? Does that serve you? Because it doesn't serve me. Instead of trying to work out who I am, and I'm quite happy as me, thank you very much. Work out who you are. And learn to be comfortable with that, so that then you're comfortable with who I am. I want to do something a little weird. Get out the little bits of energy. With my Hachi, I can't remember. Another gift from a friend. Pretty cool, huh? I have the best friends. You're my favourite, but don't tell anyone. Your skin is incredible. And you know it's funny. Yeah, I know I'm banging on. Up close, up this close, we're all the same. But when you stand far away, we look so different. But we still are the same. It's almost like we're doing impressions of ourselves. And I don't mean like a voice actor or whatever. I mean like impressionism. We're all like Monet masterpieces, impressionist masterpieces. Up close, it doesn't always make much sense, but from a distance, appreciated, we're masterpieces. It's pretty dumb, but it's kind of fun. I know I'm a little down tempo, but it's because we're trying to relax. It's while poking chopsticks in your face. Treating you like a bloody chow mein. Well, I'm pleased that you're chow mein. Boo. I don't want to make you feel alienated for the stuff I was saying about being non-binary and stuff. I almost think like there should be a different word for it. Because non-binary sounds like you're lacking something. Like you're lacking definition. When in actual fact, you are like the personification of definition. You are so defined that you defy contemporary standards of logic. You are so you, so unapologetically who you are, that you're not lacking something. You're more than that. You're almost like para-binary, beyond binary, or super binary. That one doesn't quite work. Would that mean you were like really, really one or two on or off? You know what I mean though. Para-binary sounds kind of cool. Sounds like you're a sort of gender ghost. That doesn't sound right either. I'm speaking out loud. That's what you should do. I'm thinking out loud. You don't mind, do you? I'm sorry. Just know that, like, whatever you think, you agree with me or not, or think I'm like crazy, or whatever, I support you no matter what. No matter what. And I always will. However and whoever you are. It's okay to change. I wish people knew that. It's okay to change. Whenever you want. Whatever you change from, to, is all right with me. You okay? Do you want some more water? There you go. Yeah, no, I'm sorry if I look a mess. I'm really tired. Been working, you know? Thanks. Let's do a bit of a clean up with this selenite wand. Used for energy tracing, but I find it good for like sort of sanding down energy. It's like, because it's sodium, I think. At least it's water soluble anyway. Little hunger. How are you feeling? You okay? I'm sorry if I've been a bit of a low Lars. I only ever really invite you to try to pick you up. That sounded wrong. I mean, like, physically, emotionally pick you up. I could try to physically pick you up. I'm quite a bit taller than you. I'm sorry for my nails. I really mucked them up as well. I hadn't done yesterday. Yes, like the whole crystal thing. I don't really know where I was going with that, but things don't have a singular purpose, you know. When I used to play World of Warcraft, I was a troll from the Gurubashi region. That was my backstory. And I was a warrior. And so, you get pigeonholed. Oh, you're a troll. Okay. Troll, warrior. So you're like, and this was back in the early 2000s, my age. It was like, you are either going to be a tank, like absorbing all the damage, or you are going to be DPS, dex per second, damage per second. And I was always like, well, I don't want to be either of those things. And maybe I want to be both of those things, but the game was strict. The players were strict, I should say. You would go on an instance or a raid, and you would be assigned your role based on your race and class. Sounds pretty bad when you say it out loud. And I had a problem with it. So the character build I had, and at the time I was maybe level 60 or something like that. The character build I had was all over the place. So I wasn't a good tank, and I wasn't a good DPS either. I was me. Still a troll, but I was me, and I didn't fit anywhere. I couldn't go on raids or instances because I didn't conform to what they required of me. I was a hindrance when going on like party missions and stuff, and raids and instances again. Oh, just no good. So I was mainly on my own, doing my own thing. Going across the land, making mechanical squirrels, which was for some reason one of my skill sets, and selling them on the auction house. And that was kind of how I played it. But then you meet people who do the same thing as you. People who maybe roleplay a little bit more in the game. And maybe they don't take it too seriously. They don't take themselves too seriously. And so you find that they too, their skill sets are all over the shop. They're like a sort of jack of all trades, master at none, or Jill, or some unisex name, Jay. And the funny thing is, when you meet, and my goodness, using World of Warcraft as this analogy is possibly the nerdiest thing that I could do. But you find that when you find all these other people who don't fit into these preset notions of, well, class in this instance, deficits and the positives, everything that makes you unique just clicks with these people, and you find your place. Sure, you might be shit at raids, but at least you have a damn good time. What am I doing? What am I talking about? What I'm saying is that just be you, and it's the shortest route to joy by being yourself. Because if you get happy as someone else, who's it for? So choose the rock you want, whichever one it is. Doesn't matter what people say you need to use it for. Choose the name you want. It doesn't matter what people say that name belongs to. Choose the gender you want. Because fuck people who tell you what gender is owned by whom. And be whoever you want. This Reiki session, was it really a Reiki session? Or was it an excuse for me to just talk and talk and talk? It was a rant. I'm sorry. I talked a lot of shit. Maybe I said something sage in there, I don't know. I hope it doesn't make you like me less. But I do hope it makes you like you more. Water. Here you go. Drink up, buttercup. Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a forget-me-not in the necklace. My favourite flower. And also someone sent me one that I can grow myself, which is lovely. Fucking car. Breathing. Breathe in. Hold and breathe out. Breathe in. Hold and breathe out. Breathe in. Hold and breathe out. I put a little spray in my hair. Is it messed up yet? Did I smudge my lipstick? Oh my gosh. I secretly put loads of love in that Reiki. I hope you don't mind. Also, before you go anywhere, I'm going to give you a cuddle, if that's okay. Yeah. Here are the clubs for you. I'm kidding. They're here for